Hi, and welcome to our little tete-a-tetes here, where we explore what it is about food that creates so much complexity that we have to have universities and institutions create studies and research, and then we have to train people to tell us what to eat, when to eat, and how to eat. When we are part of the animal kingdom, and in the animal kingdom, in the wild, we do not interfere with them. Animals roam free, eat whatever is available at the season, at the time, the place, and do not get ill. They thrive, in fact. So, why it is that we humans feel that we cannot do the same? Because we've become denatured. That's why. That's what I am postulating here, that we have lost our own sense of inner wisdom. And so we have become extremely tethered and extremely hypnotized to believe that we cannot eat instinctively and intuitively. When in truth, all we need to do is clean out our systems and start afresh. And what would that look like? It would mean not giving our power away to institutions and corporations and companies that profit off of what they're selling us. Whatever it is that they sell us that has nothing to do with our own truths and our own lives. Look at the huge abundance, in fact, proliferation of illnesses and diseases that were not around when we were roaming free and eating whatever we found that was there in season and in the place where we were roaming. And in its natural form, we didn't have to make into a gourmet meal. We didn't have to have a chef prepare it. We simply took it straight from the land and ate it exactly as it was in its own native form, raw form. So we discovered fire. Fire was an excellent discovery because then we could stay warm during colder months. And then somehow we discovered we could also cook our food with it and preserve the food as a result. Because if you've got a raw banana, at some point that banana will go to waste if you do not eat it. But if you cook it, as some cultures do, they cook their bananas, they fry them, in fact, and that's supposed to be gourmet, then you can keep that cooked banana a little longer. But for how much longer? Not much longer either. So what is this fascination about keeping food? How long will this keep is the most frequently asked question when I give workshops. How long will this last? Does it matter how long it lasts? The truth is that food is meant to eat once it is picked. Once you juice something, once you've done anything to it, you're meant to eat it right away. We have become hoarders. So we go out and we buy this huge, a trolley full cart of food. And we then take it home and we stuff it into the fridge and into the pantry and anywhere else we can stuff it. And then we forgot we bought it in the first place. So then we end up wasting it. And then it goes to a landfill where it creates all kinds of methane gases that poison us and poison the air and make us sick. So are we doing this the wise way? Are we really that smart? Are we really that wise in what we're doing with our food supply? Should we really be paying people to create foods in a lab? Should we really be asking corporations to be in charge of our food supply? Or should we take our power back and be in charge of our own food supply? I invite you all to start thinking about this because in the next days ahead, I will be tuning in here. I'll be asking for your comments as well and your feedback because I think the reason why we're so ill, when I say ill, I see illness as disease, dis-ease, a lack of ease in the body. And if it happens in the body biologically, then it happens in the mind. Because where's our mind? It's not in the brain, it's all over our body. And as far as I'm concerned, we have two brains. One is in the gut, which is where we have the microbiome, which either flourishes or is on the border or we have destroyed it, which is really what causes, in my opinion, and in other people's opinions who've been working with microbiome, a tremendous amount of mental and emotional illness as well. So we have a fear of each other because people have become very angry and some people even hateful. And we have not linked it back to the food supply or the lack of it. So I want to start thinking about what is food? What does it look like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What does it sound like? Because all food involves all of our senses. If you cannot hear the texture of the food when you bite into it or chew into it, it is already food that has been denatured and it no longer is really food. There's no vitality in there. If you cannot smell your food, you have no reason to put it inside your body. If you cannot taste it because the taste is very weak or it's compounded by artificial things, then you have no business putting it into your body in the first place. If you cannot touch the food and feel the different textures of it when you touch it, whether it touches your tongue or when you touch it, it's not meant for you, an alive human being at all. If when you look at the food, it's not pleasing to you, you do not see a huge amount of colors and vibrancy that excite you and allow your mouth to water and your eyes to pop, then it's not real food anymore at all. If you see things that look denatured, then it's really not food. And then we need to start questioning all the people who tell us things like, do not eat cruciferous vegetables. Do not eat root vegetables. These come straight from the earth. They're in season. They grow naturally in the land. And then we're telling people not to eat them. We've developed a whole industry around what to eat and what not to eat. We need to start letting go of that and start asking ourselves, why is it that animals left to their own devices will eat intuitively and thrive, and yet human beings who follow all of these suggestions and advice and being told what to eat and what to eat, how comes we're always so sick, mentally, physically, emotionally, because you have to be sick on all three levels for the biology also to be sick. So why is it that we are not thriving? We have given our powers away. We've given them away to institutions and to corporations. And the food supply has no business being there because we are part of nature and food is nature replenishing us as nature and we replenishing ourselves as nature. And so we need to hold our food supply as a sacred and extremely precious resource. And we need to interact with it as such. So please join me here as I start a whole series of redefining who we are, and as such, what is our food supply, what it ought to look like. Because our very lives depend on it, the state of our lives, the energy which we give off with each other, around ourselves, in which we wake up in the mornings or with which we go to sleep at night, all depends on water, air, and our food supply. And all of those three depend on our thought patterns, and what we believe and what we don't believe, what we accept and what we do not accept. So I invite you all to question everything. Question yourself, question me, question everything I say, and question everything you hear. Only in questioning things do we come to the truth of who we are. And we start beginning to learn to live intuitively and not mass-produced hypnosis, that which has been fed to us and which we all need to break free of in order to live vibrant, healthy lives of healing, splendor, and magic for which we are made. So please join me, Dorit, Elegantly Raw, my series, and please comment and subscribe so that we can do this together. So until next time, be bold, be mindful, and question everything. Until next time.